YouTube? Racing Nation TV here. Welcome to the channel. First things first, I want to say thank you guys so much for the recent support after David's video. I had a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers, and now we've gone above and beyond that, and I just want to say it means the world to me, and now I'm going to focus forward and hopefully entertain you guys, because there's no other reason to be doing this than to hopefully be entertaining you. So I want this video to be kind of like, I want to explain what happened, you know, my whole trip, because I think it'd be interesting to give the perspective of someone who was there. Before that, I will say it is March 15th, and tonight on my friend Chris Aurelio's channel, GT Rain, I'll leave a link in the description. There's also a link to his channel on my channel. I'm going to be doing a live stream with our podcast, the Rain Race podcast, me and him, maybe some other guests we don't know yet, but we're going to be talking about it on a live stream, hoping to get a bunch of you there, hoping to hopefully build a crowd. Another thing is my buddy Drayton. His channel is on my channel as well. He's going to be doing a sim race this week at Sebring on Forza 7. If you are an Xbox racer and you are wanting to participate, you can. I will lead you in his direction, as well as I will probably be streaming the race on Twitch. So join that, and well, that's something we're going to be doing this week. Other than that, other content coming out, I'm open to suggestions. I'm currently working on a historical video that I was planning to put out in May, but I will be pushing ahead now and be doing it now. And I have some other video ideas to write scripts for to do that I'm working on as we speak. So with that being said, let's get into story time. So David and I flew in Wednesday, and I don't have a lot of video or pictures, okay? Keep that in mind too. So we flew in on Wednesday, and our plan was to be there from Wednesday to, it was an 11-day trip to the Monday after the Monday after Sebring, right? So we get there Wednesday, and I waited actually like an hour in the airport for him. Once we met up, we got in our Kia Soul, which was our beautiful rental car, and we headed out to dinner with Grayson and Braden Neves, which is something he said in his live stream. I don't think that's a secret anymore, and we're gonna be doing some things, but we met up to have dinner with them. The part about that is, well, we were at dinner for probably a good hour and a half, and during that Wednesday night, remember, is when the president made the EU travel ban, and the NBA shut down and all that. So then we get to our Airbnb finally. We got to the Airbnb, checked in, did all that good stuff. It was a nice Airbnb, as you can see in the video, This Week in Racing. And I got on my computer, I went to Twitter, and lo and behold, the NBA is suspended. And then the EU travel ban, that made it a later night for David and I than we would have thought. We were up until like 2 a.m. We couldn't sleep. You know, we found out WEC was canceled, which, I mean, we expected that right after the EU ban, because that's just, you can't do WEC without travel to Europe. There's just too many drivers and team members that can't get back and stuff. So yeah, we expected that. We waited all night for that announcement. That happened, and then we went to bed knowing that our IMSA Sebring part of the trip was definitely not going to happen. But we still, at that point, felt really good about St. Petersburg. We didn't think St. Pete or NASCAR would be affected by this. We thought going to St. Pete the next day, which is Thursday, getting to Thursday now, that's the day that we spent our entire day at the track. So we woke up, heard immediately that IMSA was going to be canceled. But this is early morning, and that wasn't announced until noon. With Sebring and IMSA, you know, being canceled, we actually could go to the NASCAR race at Homestead instead, you know? At least there's another race in the state that we could go to. Quickly, when that got postponed, we're just, yeah, there's no way. And even before that, we're just like, with all the travel bans and stuff, you know, we don't want to get stuck in Florida, so that we should probably take IMSA and Sebring being canceled as a sign to just get the heck out of here as quickly as we can. So once we actually woke up late, and we headed out to St. Pete. We headed out to get our credentials, which we actually managed to do. Obviously, we were there on the morning to get it, because the thing about getting these credentials is the credential office closed midway through the day. So we actually were lucky enough to get our credentials to get in. And so Thursday we spent at the track. And the weird thing I will say about being there Thursday was it was just like, if you saw the B-roll from from the first video we did, it was just a ghost town. The vendors were immediately asked to leave because it was on our way to the credential office that things started not looking good. It was around 10 o'clock, 10:30. When we were halfway to the track, we were crossing the bay on the bridge, and I was just scrolling Twitter trying to see if I could find information, and that was when the no fans was implemented by the mayor. And what I thought was the most, for someone who was there, I thought the worst part about that was it said the race was in jeopardy and they were waiting until 3 p.m. to make that announcement. And now it's like 10:30, and you have to wait until 3 p.m. to know if the race is happening. So that's where most of our criticism comes from, that it should have been sooner, because obviously when it's 10:30 in the morning, we could have actually rescheduled our flights to be Thursday night. This could have all been over with and done. So we got our credentials. Let's just go to that point, and we get into the track, and you see that the first thing we did is we saw the IndyCar merchandise tent, which was being set up. It was all the way set up, as you can see by David's jersey post, by the Hinchcliffe jersey. Everything was set up. All the vendors were there. It was a Thursday setup day. All the teams had the cars out and ready. The paddock was looking as normal. Everything was just so normal. And I mean, it being a ghost town was, normal for a setup day. But yeah, just the vendors, being totally shut down, and just the vibe, I guess you can say, across the paddock and the track was not the same. It was definitely very odd to walk around like that. But we were in the media center. I spent most of my day in the media center, and you have to act like the race is going to happen at that point. It's just business as usual. And so 12 p.m., I was on my computer in the media center, looking at the IMSA updates, trying to update my Twitter, trying to figure out. And then that's when the IMSA announcement came out. We realized that it was in November. I actually, at that point too, at noon, went to, sorry if you hear noise outside, there's a ATV, but I actually at noon had a photo meeting, because as I'm David's photographer, I get the vest, I go, to the restricted areas and do the video. So I actually had my vest. I got the photo vest at the meeting and was ready to do so, Then at noon, 2 hours later, I'm thinking I might just have to give this back, So we go through the photo meeting, learn all the rules, do all that, and still business is normal. My biggest criticism still is we had to wait until 3. I mean, that was such a long... I understand they have things to do, things to say, but yeah, the wait until 3 was just painful. And we finally get to 3 o'clock. And what was weird was the press conference that the mayor held was in like the police station. It wasn't in the media center. It wasn't even like televised in the media center, okay? So, one of the friends that we made in the media center immediately, he had it on it was on Facebook Live. He had it on his phone. You can tell it was just another person filming it online. It was the City of St. Petersburg Facebook page, and it was just someone on their phone recording it. So there was no sound, and we literally had to wait for people who were there for their tweets to come up and say what was going on. So it was just keep refreshing Twitter at that point. And then we found out the race was happening, and we found out so it was happening without fans, restricted media, but they were very vague on what media was going to be allowed. We heard some people, because that's just the normal articles are going to say media, but they don't specify whether that's us, where we go race to race. We don't have a hard card. Some people have season-long hard cards, and we just go race to race and do it through the tracks, because we haven't been approved for a season-long in IndyCar. We're at the point where we don't know if either of us are going to be able to get in. If there's still a race, but can we go yet? And another frustrating part, which I understand they have bigger things to worry about, but the other thing about it was the announcement came at 3. But then we spent the rest of the day, well, we did other things that I'll get to, but we spent the rest of the day still not knowing. But in the meantime, as you can see from the pictures, we filmed that Dreyer and Reinbold interview with Sage Karam talking about the Aeroscreen, and it was a solid video of all of it. And one of the things to mention is we had new microphones that weekend you saw them with the logos on it, and they were wireless this time, brand new microphones. And so we were struggling with those quite a bit. One of the things, we went to Walmart the night before, and one of the things on our mind to get was batteries, and we forgot the batteries the night before. So we get back to the Airbnb to try and test it, and we didn't have batteries. So we had to stop at Walmart on the way to St. Petersburg Thursday morning to get the batteries. And so we were trying to test the microphone in the media center. And so it always leads to bad things, right? And then we have 2 microphones, but we only, without playing with them for a little bit, we only figured out how to get one to work at a time. And yeah, we filmed the interview, hoping it has sound, right? We get back to the media center, take the SD card out, put it in the computer. Video has no sound. I had this awesome interview with Sage Karam, but no audio. Because, it might have been my fault, but I was listening to the whole thing with my headphones in. I could hear it through the headphones, so I just assumed that it was recording. David leaves to go walk around the paddock and see, who he can find, and also tell Sage about it and apologize to people at Dreyer and Reinbold. They understood. We're going to get it done again. They totally understand these things happen, but I was left in the media center to play with it and figure it out. Literally turned a couple things on and off again, and then just tried it. Worked beautifully. I hit the record on the DSLR, put it in the computer, and it worked. Literally didn't change a thing. Did not change a thing on the mic. Put it in the computer, it worked. Just turn it on and off. Literally didn't change a thing. That's why it's not my fault. I'll take responsibility for it though. But yeah, that was one of the things that contributed to our mood. Man, after the day and the weekend of just not knowing if there's even going to be a race, and then having an awesome video where it's oh, even if the race doesn't happen, at least we have this cool Aeroscreen video. Nope. We did the video at the end of the day by the start-finish line on the pit lane. We did that, edited that, got that done, and then we headed out for the day. We headed out a little earlier than we might have, but we just wanted to get out of there, get back to the Airbnb, chill out. So one of the things at the Airbnb when we get back, at 10:30, I get the email saying, sorry, you're unable to cover the event. And then a couple other guidelines came out about how, no driver interviews. They talked about the screening process. David never got an email, apparently. And so he made a decision to not go anyways, even if he could. Because, what's a YouTuber going to do without a cameraman and without being able to do interviews? He would just be able to stand there and watch in person, I guess. But then that would leave me out. And he made the personal decision not to go. Which, yeah, that put us in a position where, that night, we were pretty bummed. I had about, you have about 5 minutes of just sadness, and then you got to move on with the weekend. But yeah, it's just, we had this idea that night, that Thursday night, that, if it goes on, we have NBC Gold that we can watch it on. We can still do, the practice and qualifying and race reviews. But, hey, let's have some fun with it. Let's go to, a Walmart auto parts section. Let's go to, a gas station. Let's just do it at the most ironic and funny places we can. Have some fun with it while we're in Florida, right? But quickly that morning, Friday morning, we woke up, and that's when this came out. And spill stuff here. We got this. You see that? It's from No Fans, No Race. So yeah, we got the cancellation. NASCAR, minutes after NASCAR canceled, St. Petersburg was canceled. But when everything was canceled, everything was done, we just kind of drove. Well, the other thing too is we did have to actually drive back to St. Pete to return my photo vest. That was one of the things. We had to drive back to St. Pete, and then we just kind of spent a day. We went to some hobby shops. We went to a Walmart. We just kind of venture around St. Pete, because the drive from our Airbnb to St. Pete was like a 50-minute drive, so it wasn't, a short way around to get to St. Petersburg. So we kind of enjoyed the Florida scenery and weather for a little bit and killed some time, filmed the This Week in Racing, and yeah, and during that day, that's when we rescheduled my flight to Monday. Actually, I had to reschedule my flights twice. David did it once because he was smart, but I panicked, bought a flight on Thursday actually. To contribute to that, both of our flights got delayed, as you know from the live stream. There were flights before mine getting canceled. Mine actually didn't take off till like another hour and a half after the delayed time, so I spent a lot of time in that airport. Yesterday was a 12-hour day of travel, and yeah, finally back home. Glad I'm home. Glad I'm safe. That's the number one thing. The last thing I want to say is there were a lot of people on Twitter and in the comments of the YouTube video said, they're sorry for us, and people were worried. I just want to say, don't worry about us. Don't feel, this isn't a story to feel sorry for us either. Because in a way, not in a way, but I mean, I'm honestly thankful to have been there. I'm thankful to have been in the position to be in the media center during this, to be in the position to be able to, to not be at home on the couch, and it's because of you guys, for David's supporters, that I am able, to come on these journeys, to these races. We covered the Rolex 24. It's because of you guys that I'm able to live a lifelong dream to be a part of the motorsports industry and to hopefully go further in this direction. It's just one thing we have to do is we have to help each other. We have to, we have to be on each other's side here. There's definitely a lot more people. There's definitely people in a lot worse positions than we are after this. And, that's the one thing to think about. We got to help out. I know for sure if in your area, if the schools are closed, there's a lot of kids in those schools whose parents, rely on, the school meals and the take-home meals and stuff. If you can go, donate, canned foods, donate anything, help people out, do so. This is the time to do it. I know in Ohio, there's 3 weeks of school canceled, by the governor, and that's, some parents aren't gonna be able to take off work to watch their kids. We need to help out. We need to help people out. This is the time for it. I know freelancers in photography. I mean, the thing about journalism. David and I are lucky and are in a lucky position here on YouTube where we can do historical videos and we can still make content. We can make gaming videos. We can do stuff on that. But think about the print media. The other they don't have any. They don't have any new stories, at least IndyCar wise, until May. I mean, NASCAR wise might be the same. Other sports, baseball, so it's just, we're definitely in a good position, and I think I'm very grateful to be in this position. Starting to ramble here, don't want to ramble too long, but yeah, that's basically the gist I want to say. Help each other out. This is definitely a time we need to do it. Don't panic. Racing will be back. There's still stuff for you to watch on YouTube. Don't freak out. Help people out. This has been Race Nation TV. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support recently, and I will see you in the next one.